Wait, Eriksson Wen Stretchum, Christian Squext. Hi there, thanks for stopping by. Good morning. I'm Chris Bose. This is the Indigenous Film Review. I'm your host, and this is basically urban res film reviews. I like horror movies, and I've been watching a lot of horror movies lately, but I typically like thriller and comedy films as well. So today's fare is The Possession of Hannah Grace. How can I get it so it's not so friggin' shiny? The Possession of Hannah Grace. And this is a good low budget little horror film that came out a few years ago. Oh, last year or 2 years ago. And it's good. I like it. I thought it was creepy and scary. And it's a little different than your typical possession slash exorcism slash exorcism films. It keeps you guessing a little bit. The acting's good. The directing is good. There's some parts of the plausible deniability are tough. If Granny was watching it, Granny would be like, "Why don't they turn some lights on? It's too dark in there. Someone's gonna trip and get hurt." At least my granny would be. Why are they so stupid, hey? Why don't they just leave? That's your typical my granny remark when I used to watch scary movies with her. And my aunties too. My aunties were always like, they're so tough, right? I grew up with 7 indigenous women in my life. My aunties and my mom, and they're all tough as nails. And really cool. And some of them didn't like scary movies, but some did. I remember watching some, and the tough ones would be like, "Oh, so fake. I would never do that. I would know what to do, right?" So Granny would approve of this as a good, exciting Friday night horror film, thriller, and aunties would be par for the course. Typically, no, I don't believe it. That would never happen. So, out of 10 thumbs, I give the Possession of Hannah Grace. I give this one 7 out of 10 thumbs up. It's a good little horror movie, and it's sparsely cast, and there's not a ton of need for special effects. It's basically an exorcism gone wrong. Hannah Grace dies, and the horror around her during her exorcism stops. But she doesn't die because she's fully possessed by a demon. And so she ends up, of course, at the mortuary or the coroner's office or whatever the hell. And that's where things get crazy. And the story's, it's good. It's scary. It's scary. Granny will jump, and so will Auntie. They'll say they're tough and they can hack it, but they'll jump. And yeah, there's a weird little side story that I don't think is really necessary with the main leading character. I don't know. It's not really that relevant, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But for horror and scares, not even jump scares, but just scares, The Possession of Hannah Grace is good. Yeah, you'll like it. It's a good fast pace. The story is well done. The horror is good. There's not a ton of gore or anything, but there's some. So not kid friendly. None of these are. I'll tell you if they're kid friendly. This one ain't kid friendly. Slash. Yes, scary. I love scary movies. So that's my take on it. It's worth a watch. It's one of the better cheap horror movies I've seen lately. It's in my top 10. It's in my favorites. And I've got some horror movie favorites that I can just watch again and again and again because, I don't know, why not? Just put it on. And I'm writing horror movie stuff, and I'm working on scary stories. So I kind of, that's why I'm doing a ton of research into it. So I write good ones and not shit ones. I mean, poop ones. So there you go, Indigenous Res Review of Films. I'm your host, Chris Bose, or Horatio Cornblower. thanks for tuning in, and check it out, The Possession of Hannah Grace.